Hey, it's the Midnight Raven, and I thought I would do a bit of a catch-up video while I have limited light outside, apparently, since setting this up. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. I am the Midnight Raven, and if you're not new to the channel, you will also not know that I have two channels, Thrifting with Raven and this one, the Midnight Raven. If you haven't checked out my second channel, Thrifting with Raven, it is car boots, yard sales, and charity shops, and bin diving, a little bit of fun over there. So check out that channel. If you're not new to this channel, you will know I am the Midnight Raven, and have been a YouTuber for about 7 years. I have made a little channel where I share everything from thoughts, feelings, emotions, shopping hauls, and much more. And I thought today we would just do a teensy weensy little update video, giving you a bit of an update on how I've been, what I've been doing, where I've been, and where things are going. So, if you didn't know, over Christmas, me and my son had a lot of hospital appointments. We were in and out of hospital throughout November and December, and we have also been back to hospital throughout January and February. Yes, we thought we would start the new year with a bang. So, over the last maybe 2 to 3 months, my son had been feeling dizzy, and in November he collapsed not once but twice. He spent the evening in A&E, and we have been to and from the hospital. We have had ECGs, we have had his blood pressure, his blood's taken, his height, his weight. He is now going to be going for an echocardiograph, where we are going to basically sonograph the internal workings of his heart, kind of like what you do when you have a baby. You get a bit of an ultrasound of his heart, checking his valves, his heart, make sure there's no blockages, and all of that good stuff. So that is due to be coming soon. They did find that he had little bits of dips in his heart, and obviously they couldn't tell us why he blacked out. They couldn't find a reason, unfortunately. We just have to observe him, keep an eye on him. If he then collapses again, he will then obviously go back to the hospital. So the echocardiograph will give us an idea if there's a blockage or anything, but from what we can see, he just basically passed out. What they're classing is possibly due to stress. It could have been an hormonal balance, as he had been going through the changes, as he is now coming up to nearly 17. They said it could have been to do with a lot of things, but they did find little parts of his heart where it did drop in beats per minute and stuff like that. So it is basically to keep an eye on him. If he collapses, to go back to A&E, and then the echocardiograph is going to make sure that his valves are working properly in his heart, there's no blockages, and that will be the last thing before he is then signed off with the hospital. Me, I also ended up going to hospital quite a lot last year. I was in and out of the doctors for my mental health, which we will discuss in a sec. But I was in and out of hospital after having a pap smear or a smear test, and then finding what they supposed was a lump. When I went to have an internal examination, they said that there seemed to be a weakening in my cervix, um, which could be caused by a lump that they supposedly had found back when I went for my pap smear. So I have been for not one but two internal examinations over the last 3 months or thereabouts, maybe 4. And the first one showed that I did have a kind of weakening in my cervix walls where it kind of bleeds on contact. I'd never had that before, but that seems to have settled now, because I went for another examination just over 2 weeks ago or a week ago, and it proved that my cervix, for whatever reason, wasn't now sensitive to the touch. They're putting it down to the fact that I have perimenopause, and that the lining of my wound had been a little bit more fragile. It was going through a change, as it does during your menopause. Um, and that although my cervix was seeding to bleed within periods, it was fine. It was just something to keep an eye on. The lump itself, by the time I'd had my third examination, had shrunk down, and they had said that it wasn't cancer, so I am cancer free. And apparently my cervix is fine now. It's just going through the perimenopause changes, which, if any of the ladies know much about perimenopause or menopause, comment in the chat. Let me know how you dealt with the first signs of it. So I have been cleared for cleared for having the cervix or the cancer or whatever they thought they had. And now I've just got to keep an eye on how much the bleeding is, when it is, and just keep an eye on it, making sure it's not severe. And obviously perimenopause sucks. It just sucks. Hot flushes, tiredness. Oh, it's men say they don't envy women on a period. Try perimenopause. Try that. So, apart from that, my mental health has been up and down again. I have been going through certain things, perimenopause being one of them. I have been going through other situations beyond my control, obviously with the hospital appointments, which was also causing me a little bit of distress, both for me and what my son was going through. And obviously, I have been going through external stress. If some of you know, I have spoken behind the scenes about a situation that I was dealing with, talking to the police. I'm not going to go into that into this video. But some of you well know that I was having talks with police behind the scenes, and they were looking into something that was going on in my life and trying to rectify it. And it had taken a toll on my mental health with everything else. Plus, at Christmas, my bank account was hacked not once but twice. Some lucky person decided to leave me with no money on Christmas Eve after they emptied my bank account twice. No thanks to NatWest fucking up the second time, allowing the people to re-empty my bank account after giving it back to me. Such a joy. So we had Christmas, we've had hospital appointments, we've gone through New Year. We are now in February, the month of love. So February has been actually a good month for me. I know, I'm shocked as well as you. But I have recently been on the dating scene. Yes, Raven has been on the prowl, and I have found what I want to call Mr. Exclusive. That is the term we are using for him, and he is happy to use that name. We are not boyfriend or girlfriend. We are not 16. We are using Mrs. and Mrs. Exclusive. We have been on, I think it's 9 dates now, or 10 in possibly the last, I think it's 3 weeks. So we have seen each other quite a lot. We had a nice Valentine's. He spent the entire weekend with me just gone. And we are spending this weekend together as well. So Raven has hit her peak when it comes to dating apps. I had near enough given up. If I'm really honest, I have been on dates over Christmas and into the new year, and this one, it just feels right. He's a lovely man. He's really into me from what I can gather. We are Mr. and Mrs. Exclusive, and I must say he does bring a smile to my face. We have hung out as much as we can. He does have a job that takes up a lot of time, and I myself had hospital, my boy, and I've got a lot going on myself in my own world, but we are making it work because we do really like each other, and we have done a lot in such a very short amount of time, which can only be good, that we are not only liking each other but also taking time for each other, which is good. So, Raven on the dating scene. I am now off the dating apps. I have taken myself off them, hoping and praying that this relationship does work, because you know me, my relationships have been up and down recently. The dating game is a cesspool, and I was wading in it. And this one has So far, gone nearly a month. 29th of February will be a month since we have met up and hung out. And as we have already hung out, I think it's 9 or 10 times in a very short space of time. But we have had fun. We've been mini golfing. We've had movie nights. We had a Valentine's night, which was made by myself. And we are also rendezvousing this weekend. So Raven has had a productive year so far when it comes to the heart. The mind you, I still do have mental health, and I am going through the motions again of having a bit of a dip when it comes to my mental health. But everybody is understanding, my Mr. Exclusive, my son, my family, and obviously going back to work at the minute. I am not planning to. I have spoken to who I need to speak to. We are looking at having more counselling due to situations I have been going through. I am taking, as I call it, more time for myself because I do not feel I am ready to go back into that world quite yet. And that is perfectly fine for me to say that, because that is the way of healing and knowing that I need more help when it comes to my mental health. I have been going through quite a lot when it comes to exterior circumstances beyond my control, which are being looked at, as I well said, by some authorities. And in due course, I will hopefully receive more counseling. And then eventually down the line, maybe, just maybe, we will go back to work. Although I would love the opportunity to be self employed and do Vinted and YouTube full time. If I could do it and get the numbers up, I would. Um, but yeah, life hasn't been too bad. I wasn't hopeful for 2025. With the hospitals and my bank account being hacked, things just didn't look good. And then I'd been on a few dates that hadn't really panned out, and I was just feeling down. I was just feeling down and out. And Mr. Exclusive came into my life, put a smile on my face and a spring in my step. And he has done me the world of good. He understands me. He kind of gets me. It is early days, obviously, but we have had such a nice time in such a short space of time, and I am feeling 10 times better. I have had comments from people saying that I seem to have a glow, a spring in my step. I seem much, much better recently since meeting Mr. Exclusive, and that he is, at the minute, been really good for me in more ways than one, and I can't thank him enough. He doesn't watch my videos, luckily, so he won't know this. He does know I have a YouTube channel, but I have asked him not to watch my videos for obvious reasons. But he does know I have mentioned him, and he does know his name is Mr. Exclusive, because that's what we are currently to each other. We are not boyfriend and girlfriend because we are not 16. We do not use those kind of terms when we are in our, or at least I'm in my 40s, and apparently I'm a cougar, as I have been told, because my man is younger. And is that bad? I don't see it as bad. I think age is but a number, but some people would say he's too young for me. Some people might say I'm too old for him, and vice versa. But we are in the relationship, and that is what is important. So, other things that have been going in my life, obviously, I've been doing Vinted. I have been trying to live stream as much as possible, although having a significant other does take up my time, and using my weekends and my days off to obviously spend with Mr. Exclusive. It takes a lot of my time, and the rest of the time I'm doing Vinted to earn some money to be able to go out on dates and have a lifestyle, because I love going out and I love experiencing things and that. And with spring coming up, I would love to get out the house more, which hopefully we can do some more outdoor content. But recently it has been raining, and the other day we had snow. So I am going to be trying to do more content. It's just that recently Mr. Exclusives have taken a lot of my time, which is not bad. I'm not going to complain. I have been well looked after and well cared for. and it does take up a bit of my YouTube time, which I would usually use for YouTube, but you only live once, so you're gonna have to like balance my time between Vinted, Mr. Exclusive, and YouTube, which shouldn't be too bad. If I'm really honest, he does work nights, which helps me to be able to do stuff during the day, and during the night, and like alternate it depending on when we're both working, because both of us have to work to be able to date and have a lifestyle. So one thing has to give sometimes, and YouTube kind of takes a little bit of a back burner sometimes on certain days. I haven't been to as many people's streams, which I am so sorry about. But when people stream at the weekends, that is when we are hanging out the most. That is when me and him have the most time. But yeah, things are looking up for the Raven. Hate to say it, things are looking up. There are some people out there that, you know, don't want the best for me, and unfortunately, sorry to say, that's not happening. My life is getting better by the day, and it doesn't include them. Thank God. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a little catch up with the Midnight Raven. Things have been hard the last few months, not gonna lie. But 2025, for once, Raven is going to say that things are looking up. They are improving day by day. I look and feel better. My heart is finally healing and ready to move on to Mr. Exclusive. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Raven has found somebody she can hopefully have a future with. Who knows? Early days. But like and subscribe. Give it a big thumbs up. If you want to support the channel, you can donate by PayPal, Super Chat, or Super Thanks. PayPals would be greatly appreciated, as I do get them instantly, and YouTube do not take 30% of them, which, oh, that hurts my heart. But yes, if you want to follow me elsewhere, you can follow me on Thrifting with Raven, my second channel, on TikTok, Instagram, or you can follow me on Facebook. You can also come to my Discord if you so wish. And I will see you all very soon for another update video, as the light seems to be going outside, which can only mean one thing, that Raven needs to go and have some dinner. And I'll see you very soon. Take care and thanks for watching, and I love you all. Bye guys.